Good morning, good morning. We're getting ready to go. 8:28 according to all the devices around me. Wait until 8:30, we'll go exactly. Hi, hi, hi. Get there. If you're looking for me early, you got to remember it doesn't actually start. Can everybody hear me okay? Let me know. Somebody let me know you can hear me well. Good morning, good morning. Somebody who's watching, can you let me know you can hear me? We got a different sound thing. I want to make sure we're working right. Thank you. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Okay, Casper, come on over here. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. All right. We're all in the house. Boise is in the house. Chicago is in the house. North Carolina is in the house. Casper, oh, there's Mountain Dog. There's the big Mountain Dog. Come here, Casper. Casper, come here. Come here. Come here. Up, come here. Let's see everybody. Oh, that boy. That boy. There's Casper. There's the coffee. So we got it. Coffee with Casper. Good morning, everybody. All right, now you got to get down, big boy. Oh, good doggies. Okay. Okay. All right, let's everybody take a deep breath. Let it move into your heart center. And now we're just going to spend a few minutes looking at wonderful possibilities that are unfolding. You know, I think a couple of things I want to begin with. The first one is the word they're using now is memes. One of the great memes of our time right now is we're all in this together. Pandemic simply means this particular, or any pandemic, would be whatever the virus is, whatever the disease is spreading across nations and across continents and not respecting boundaries in any way, shape, or form. And so that's what's coming out. That's why it is a pandemic. It is everywhere. And one of the main learnings that's happening for all of us in this thing is this meme that everybody is now sharing that's on radio and television and everything else, is we're all in this together. Now the bottom line is we're all, and always have been, all in humanity together. We are in this experience of being human together. And that's such an important fact, because until we realize the unity of all life, the interconnectedness of all life, the interrelationship of all life, we're going to function as though we're independent entities and we belong to the whole. I learned many, many years ago when I was first struck with a very serious disease that when I was 19 years old, and so many souls called and checked in with me and wanted to know what was happening and were part of everything. And I learned that we do not live just for ourselves. We live for ourselves and for everybody who touches the arena of our experience. And the truth is, since those waves go out endlessly, we end up being interconnected with all of life, and who we are and how we live and the way we show up in the world affects everything. No such thing as a disconnected anything. So one of the ideas that I really, really, really love, and I know people are struggling with this one, one of the ideas that I really love, it comes from St. Ignatius, who I believe was a 15th century later proclaimed saint, and he said the joy of God is a human being fully alive, a human being fully alive. And I think one of the things, we got New Hampshire in the house, one of the things that's happening through this need to be so much time by yourself and this need to have been quarantined and separated from others and from your normal social interactions and even public interactions, is that we've all had a chance to bring attention to ourselves, and sometimes in a way that we didn't even like, and that's going to stir things up, and what it's going to do is reveal something important. There's a biblical line. The biblical line is, after the fire, a still small voice. After the fire, a still small voice. So what that means is that still small voice is what you and I would call intuition, Ernest Holmes, the wonderful philosopher, said that intuition is the voice of God within the human being. So what's happening is we've been able to slow down. We've been able to ask the universe what it is, what do I do now? What's mine to do? What do I do about this circumstance? What do I do about this situation? How do I find paper towels and toilet paper? What is mine to do? And that question, a lot of people are looking for an answer from the universe before they even ask. You have to ask, and it's the asking that brings forth the answers. So here's what's happening in the new era, in this new time. As we come out, we're beginning to come out. You might see I had my hair cut here in Los Angeles County. You can now see haircutters and hairdressers and the like. And so we're beginning to open up, and that's sort of after the fire. We've been in this fire, and then in the fire upon fire, the whole George Floyd scenario, and all that's done to show that we're living in a separation instead of a unity, instead of belonging to each other, instead of honoring that we belong to each other. As I say, every person, which is therefore a soul, every soul has been ordained by the Most High. And you and I are part of that ordination. We're part of what has already been proclaimed. And it is only as we bring out that equality and share that honoring of every soul at every level, no matter race, color, creed, religion, ways of being, nationality, any of those things. There's nothing that separates human beings. DNA suggests that human beings are 97% the same. 97%. And then in that 3%, the variables of all our uniqueness. And yes, we're unique, but we're also the same. So it's, yes, I'm special, but so are you special. We talked about that before. So what's going to be happening, and the opportunities for us as we move forward are going to be in synchronicities, in things that reveal themselves that appear disconnected, but somehow they're connected. So the actual dictionary definition of synchronicity is the simultaneous occurrence of events which appear significantly related, but have no discernible causal connection. No discernible causal connection. And we all have had experiences of synchronicity. Let me share a simple one. A long time ago, when my children were little, we were traveling back in a snowstorm. We then had a Volkswagen camper, and the Volkswagen camper quit on us in the middle of this huge snowstorm in a very dangerous mountain road. And I pulled the car over. I had to back it. I was running out of, it wouldn't run, and so I got it to start enough to back it up to get it out of the road, perpendicular to the road, almost at the edge of a cliff. And I was trying to discern the situation, and then I discerned that the situation was dangerous for me and my wife and the babies, and this was not good. And so I took a deep breath, and I looked out into the snowstorm, and no cars had been there. We were on the road all by ourselves, and I took a deep breath, and I said to the universe, what do I do now? What do I do now? So that was a kind of fire, and in that moment I said, what do you do now? What do I do now? And just then, apparently with no causal connection, the first car that had ever come around came around the corner, rolled down the window, and said to me, can I help? What do I do now? And this synchronistic person showed up and said, can I help? And obviously I got a ride back to the town because there were no cell phones in those days. I had to get help and connection, call somebody and all of that. And I had to leave my wife in the car with her foot on the brake, too close to the edge of the cliff. But that's the synchronistic event. No apparent relationship between the moment I asked the question, what do I do now, and that car instantly showing up and saying, can I help you? And that was the answer to my question, yes? That would be a synchronistic revelation. Well, what's going to happen in all of our lives as we begin to open up, as we begin to open our hearts, as we begin to ask, what's mine to do? What do I do now? Whatever that question might be in the moment. Some synchronicity. You may have a stranger, you may have a vision, or song from Orleans in the 70s. You may have a vision, or you may have a friend who will come to you and say the same words again. You've got to reach a little bit higher. Now, when we reach up, we're basically reaching up into our higher selves. Humans have two aspects of themselves that are concurrent. One is the divinity of being human, and the other is the animal nature of being human. And we humans have the opportunity to use our mind. That's the separating factor, our self-consciousness. We humans have the opportunity to use our mind to reach up, to ask, what do I do now? What is mine to do? When we do that, we're reaching up to our higher nature. And we're making a choice not to participate in our reactive nature, which would be our fear or flight nature, yes? So as we learn in this stillness that we've had to be as we're coming out of quarantine, as we've been so much more time with ourselves, some of us calling forth questions and deep desires that we hadn't seen before. We're touching a different level because we're moving out. We want to honor our humanness. It's wonderful to be a human. It's wonderful to hug. It's wonderful to be able to be in love. It's wonderful to be able to feel connection or kinetic connection with other people. That's part of being human. And yet, if we rise up to this other part of ourselves and connect at that level, we get to another famous biblical line. And the biblical line is, where two or more are gathered, there too am I. Now, that I is this higher nature. When I rise up to my higher nature, and you rise up to your higher nature, and we connect together. Now imagine millions of us, even though there are billions on the planet, millions are awakening. And those millions, when they're rising up, they're finding a way to connect together, to drop to a knee and go into silence together, to honor each other's struggles together, to share compassion together. These are things we're seeing even in the marches that have been happening in these last few weeks. We're seeing all generations, all races connecting and compassionately caring, each about the other's situation and circumstance, yes? Other families, how are they doing? Other colors, other races, how are they doing? We're beginning to connect in this field of compassion. And something happens. First of all, synchronicity begins to reveal itself. These apparently disconnected events come into our life at the right and perfect time and reveal the answers that we need. We've been talking about this, that the good in this is because we are being still, because we were forced to be still. This still small voice, which is the voice of intuition, which is the voice of the divine, a direct connection with infinite intelligence, perfect intelligence, and harmonious intelligence that aligns with other people. When that happens, we're creating another word, and that word is called synergy. And synergy is the cooperation of two or more things that come together, that bring more power, that each by themselves has a certain amount of power, but when they come together, there's even more power. That's called synergy. And that happens both chemically, and it happens spiritually, it happens mentally, and it happens at every level of our being, mentally, spiritually, and physically. We can come in to a place where we rise up, rising into this high self. We create more energy together because we're more united in the field of perfect intelligence when we rise up, yes? When we say to our reactive self, I'm not going to react, I'm going to, in fact, look to my intention, and I'm going to go ask this higher self of myself, this I am that I am, how to bring forth this deeper and more profound connection. Humanity is coming into a deeper and more profound connection because masses of people, even though you may be an awakening soul, you may somebody have known that everybody's interrelated or that energy and matter are equal, that everything is connected, there's no such thing, and everything moves in sequence, from spirit through mind into form. Let me say that again. Everything moves in sequence, from spirit through mind into form. Spirit being energy, the allness, the infinite itself, infinite energy, using its mind. God, in the beginning, God said, mind formed a word, and the word became form. And that's what happens to you and me. We are slices of the infinite. Spirit, God, the One, has ordained that we should be in its image. meaning we shall be one with infinite potential, one with all energy, and we shall choose by means of mind, thought, what we will identify with, what we will intend, and through that choice, happening both consciously and subconsciously. So it's the sum total of everything I think, say, feel, and do is creating this impress, forming my choices in mind, which are becoming form. Spirit, acting through mind upon itself, brings forth form. I, being spirit, acting through my personal mind, making choices, bring forth form. And those forms happen to be at every level of my being. Now, when we rise up and realize I'm not doing this separately, I'm doing this connected to everything and everyone, then every choice I make is contributing to the whole. So we might ask ourselves, well, I've been fearful and I would like out of my fear. Well, is your fear contributing to the whole? Or do you think a more affirmative and positive attitude would help you contribute more to the whole? Do you think your asking for help when you need it would help you contribute more to the whole? Arizona is in the house. We welcome everybody. Thank you for being. We remind you that if you're enjoying Coffee with Casper, share it with friends. If you can't find it, go to newthought.com, social media, and it'll take you to how to find us on Facebook every week. We're here every Tuesday at 8:30 for just these 20 minutes. And if they're beneficial, if you're finding you get a single inspiration, one thought or idea that helps you, then share it with others. Because again, this intent that we're bringing forward, this intent that's being created out of our consciousness, the sum total of where I'm dwelling, is contributing to the whole. Are we bringing forth a greater and more profound good through the choices that we're making every day? Some of you know I've been teaching for a long time. Don't get out of bed until you can greet the day. Say thank you for this day. Thank you for the good that is mine. Love your life as it is right now. And then from that moment forward, start discerning what would you like to happen? How would you like it to be? How are you going to create? Daily we meditate. Daily we visualize. Daily we bring forth that which is affirmative, because we have to keep our consciousness fresh in a world that is changing rapidly, because so many souls are discovering that we are all in this together. So we're talking about you have the opportunity to. Take a look in your life for these synchronicities, these things that all seem to be working together toward the whole. All these synchronicities that are working together, they're coming to you, they're working for you. They're bringing forth new opportunities. That's how you're going to get wherever it hurts, wherever the pain is, wherever your solutions are. They're going to reveal themselves through synchronicities. Now then what will happen is greater good will come than you've imagined, because those synchronicities are going to cause a synergy to happen that will release even more energy than you were before you opened to that wonderful synchronicity that was there for you. Yes? Taking a deep breath, let us remember the divine, the self, the I am that I am, is going to reveal solutions to us easily, gracefully, joyously, freely. Yes? We'll be able to see an answer and follow that path. You're just looking for one little idea, one little synchronicity that reveals itself to you, and then follow that path to the new answer, to the answer to your question, to the solutions that you're looking for the new opportunities in health, in abundance, in joy, in freedom. They're all beginning to come forth, but they're going to come one opportunity at a time as we ask and we listen to that still small voice and we follow it. That's mine to do. That's mine to do. And this helps with everything. I mean, right down to what you're shopping for in the market. You know, you can use this power everywhere. But we begin to get into a relationship between my high self and my personal self, my humanness and my divinity, and we honor them all. We welcome them all. We watch this humanness and divinity come together to reveal what St. Ignatius was talking about, a human being fully alive. The glory of God is a human being fully alive. You can glorify the very Creator itself, energy source itself, by becoming more joyful, more loving, more in tune, more awake, more alive, more aware, as we listen to this still small voice and bring it forth into our lives through the opportunities that are being created in synchronicity and in synergy. Synergy bringing more energy and more opportunity than we've ever had before. Good is coming into your life. We have not been asked to go through the fire to be left hopeless. We've been asked to go through the fire so that we may listen more intently and hear more clearly the still small voice which is revealing opportunities through synchronicity, which is going to bring more energy and more power, more vibrancy, more creativity, more aliveness, more abundance, more radiance than we've ever known before, through synergy. And it all happens because you make a choice to rise up to your highest nature, to open to your deepest levels of compassion, to participate with your heart in a way that's honest and real and genuine. And then these opportunities are going to show up. Whoa, look, here's this question answered. Here's this opportunity for this. Here's this greater good revealing itself here. Here's what I now know what to do. It's happening to us right now. Today is your day to listen to that voice, to follow what it says, and to bring forth the opportunities that come from those synchronicities, and to reveal the power that we have by knowing that we're all in this together and we're connected. My friends, it's been my honor and privilege. It is always my honor and privilege to be with you. Thank you for bringing your awakening consciousness into the world. Thank you for healing everything in your world that needs healing. And allow that healing to bring a greater wholeness, a greater joy, a greater freedom, and a greater love into all that is your life. You are the ones that we've been waiting for. We are the ones that we've been waiting for. Thanks for being with me. We'll see you next week on Coffee with Casper. Bye for now.